The one looked like a salmon to me, but we'll see. Yes, Chinook salmon, adipose fin is present.
The idea that salmon could be in rice fields is a relatively new one, but a really exciting one.
We used to think that fish needed to stay in the rivers. And about 20 years ago, we realized that the importance of fish leaving the rivers and utilizing the floodplains. And then we realized that most of our floodplains are rice fields. And so when we realized that, we realized the opportunity to incorporate this agricultural system and mimic what was there historically.
If these rice fields are deep enough, if these rice fields are completely flooded, as in the bypasses like the Sutter and the Yolo bypasses, you might see lots of these salmon coming into the rice fields. What's really amazing about rice fields is they're exceptionally productive in terms of zooplankton, where all these invertebrates or bugs kind of going around in the water. Much more productive than even in the rivers nearby.
During the winter flooded season, those food resources are an absolutely critical time for juvenile salmon. This is when they put on their weight before they go to the ocean. This is the time when they're prepping to change. Their whole bodies are changing to go from freshwater to saltwater. And when they have those resources, basically what they're doing is they're packing their lunch for an unknown ocean environment.
People are also exploring the importance of rice fields, even if they aren't connected to those waterways. The idea being here that maybe we can't get the fish into the fields, but we could get the food for those fish out of the rice fields and into the rivers.
We've realized we have to develop these practice standards to better manage those habitats for when the fish arrive. Because right now, a rice field is graded to drain. And if it drains out as soon as it gets unflooded, then the benefit isn't there.
By flooding in winter, doing a certain set of practices, you could build up all of those bugs, all those zooplankton, and then flush them out in repeated flushings into those waterways in order to support those salmon during their journey out to sea.
If rice fields aren't being flooded for decomposition, particularly on the dry side of the levees, then we just don't see that food subsidy into the river. And without that subsidy, the river is really a barren place without a lot of food resources for the fish. And when they don't have food resources, they grow slowly and they are unprepared for their entrance to the ocean. Fish that feed directly on floodplains grow about 8 times faster than their counterparts in the river. When they have those resources in place, is we see them coming back as adults. And those are the ones that are really important for our metrics for when we decide whether salmon populations are healthy or not, are the ones that come back. So the acreage needed to support fish is complicated because fish, unlike shorebirds, can't fly over levees. And so I think of this as about, in the flooded bypasses where fish have direct access, there's about 30,000 acres of rice fields in the bypasses that we can manage for those fish. In kind of on the side of that is we have places where we can grow fish food and bring it to the fish in the rivers. And so that has a pretty variable acreage that can be used because that acreage can also be used for waterfowl. And that we can use that water for multiple reasons and bring it back to the river for the fish as well.
So what do we do with a report like this? I think a report like this highlights how critical rice really is for so many different species and for the people of California. So looking forward, we might be able to use this report to attract more funding for conservation programs and getting lots of support behind that looking into the future.